Welcome back to Special Friends Podcast. My name is Mary Santora.
And I'm Sara Huntington.
We have a whole list of ailments. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
Everybody.
We're falling apart at the seams. And it felt like right when we were starting to do good, we were having a fun time. Like mentally, we were doing well. That like our bodies fell apart.
Yeah, I went home last weekend because I missed my family. And I picked the weekend to go home that Blake, my stepkid, had strep throat. Now, I don't think I got strep throat because I didn't have a fever. I didn't have spots on my throat. My throat did hurt, but I didn't have any of the like symptoms of strep other than a sore throat. But this whole week, I got back like literally 1 week ago. This entire week, I have been sneezing. I have been like, my throat's been sore.
Coughing, sneezy, itchy
I have not
eyes.
been coughing. I have had itchy eyes.
What was that? It was a commercial though. Coughing, sneezing, runny eyes. I don't know. There was a song and a bear.
Are you thinking of Pepto-Bismol?
No. I know that one.
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion,
upset stomach, diarrhea. Pepto-Bismol. No, this was the da-da-da-da-da-da. Runny eyes.
Runny eyes? Is that what you call crying? I just have really runny eyes right now. I just can't. It's not crying. It sounds like a man.
My eyes sunny side up.
No.
Anyway.
I don't know that. But I have been, for me, it feels more like allergies. The sneezing, you don't sneeze when you are sick with anything else, I feel like.
The cold.
I feel like when I get a cold, it's like I'm sick. My head is congested.
Yeah.
My chest is congested. I can't breathe. I'm coughing up phlegm.
Yeah.
Every time I'm sneezy, it's always, I feel like allergies.
But why do I have a sore throat today?
I don't know. What are you doing with your life?
I'm sitting around.
Screaming.
I did have to go to the doctor yesterday, so maybe I picked up something at the doctor's office. That's why I don't like going to doctor's offices.
I'm telling you, I don't know. If I am sick, it's mimicking all signs of allergies. So whatever. But
you'll
Sara,
know in 3 days?
What do you mean?
Like if you get better when you go to Florida?
Yeah, I'm going to Miami, and it's going to be fun. I can't wait. I was just, you know what's so funny? So my best friend from childhood, 6th grade. We met in 6th grade. Kelsey. I love her to death. We fight all the time. She's like, I don't know how to describe the relationship that we have. There's been points where we hate each other and we don't talk. Or we don't really get along. What'd you say?
That's how I know that you had sisters growing up that you were close to, because if any of my friends got in a fight to the point where we didn't talk for months, they're dead to me.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like, all of my friends, like, I have friends from high school, from college, that I have latched onto, and they've become my friends for life. But, like...
But you never went through bouts with them?
Not really,
where you
no.
Just disagree?
Anybody that I had a falling out with, they're dead to me.
Well, not a falling out, but, like, maybe it is just growing up with sisters where there's times where I'm like, you're annoying me, and I don't want to talk to you for a couple weeks because you are driving me nuts.
One time, Sammy and I had it was, like, 3 weeks. And then we made up, like, pretty instantly. Like,
Kelsey
and it was, like, the hardest 3 weeks of my life where I was like, I know she's not talking to me on purpose. I know she's mad at me.
Yeah.
And then I did everything in my power to be like...
What made the fight?
I was dating a guy that she hated. And she was like, you can either keep dating him or we can not be friends. And so I hid it for, like, months that we were dating from her. And then she found out.
And she was pissed.
And she was like, yeah, no, we're done.
Wow.
And then
good for her.
Yeah.
No, like, it's not anything like that ever. It's just that Kelsey and I both have very strong personalities, and you think I'm type A, and I'm like, you need to meet the people in my life that are so, like, regimented and strict, and they are so type A and so OCD that I'm like the free-loving, let's do whatever, like, I know you can't even, like, feel that's real. I'm telling you. So,
are these, like, are these people you choose to be friends with, or do you think that you just fall in line to be friends with people like that? Because all of my friends, when you think that I'm type B, I'm thinking well, then you should meet some of the friends that I hang out with back home. Like, you would lose your mind. I'm the type A friend in my friend group.
I can't even picture that.
Some of them. There's definitely, like, there's a certain group that I used to hang out with where they were definitely more type A. But when I think of, like, my, like, 4 best friends and then me, I'm like, no, I'm the type A one.
Yeah.
You'd lose your mind around them. I don't know what you do. And then you're saying, like, no, I'm kind of type B.
Well, compared to, it's hard to describe. There's, like, in our core group of friends, there's 4 of us that have been tight forever. And then there's, like, 2 other ones that live in different places that don't really check in with anybody.
Yeah.
But of the 4 of us, Kelsey is by far the most neurotic and the type A. And then it's probably me. And then we have a friend who's super flaky. And then after that, we have a friend who lives on a farm who, like, doesn't wash her hair with soap, who doesn't shave anything, who's just very, like, live off the land. Everybody should be free.
Love
like,
that.
so that's kind of how that friend group lays out. But to describe the way that, I wouldn't even say that we fight. We're both very, very stubborn. So we will bicker constantly. So we're in a group chat about going to see the Backstreet Boys in Las Vegas at the Sphere, which I cannot wait for. It's in, I think, September or August. It's in August because this was what the fight was.
I want to go to that Sphere, though.
I cannot.
So you better make up, like, because that's important that you go to that.
Oh, I would go even if we were fighting. Even if we were, like, not on speaking terms, I would still go and share a hotel room
at
with
the
her.
concert, just like, and don't even fucking look at me, Kelsey. Now get in there.
Right. But, like, so Kelsey's like, oh, we can take a day and go hiking. There's, like, beautiful hikes around Vegas.
And I
was like,
had a really bad time with your hike.
Not even that.
You're
I'll
a little
go on
scarred
a hike.
from hiking right
this
now.
This was before that even happened.
Okay.
I'll go on a hike. I don't love it, but I'll be outside and I'll be a good sport. But I'm like, Kelsey, I'm not hiking in August in the desert.
Yeah.
Like, you're out of your mind. And she's like, no, if we just go before sunrise and then we can find a cute place to watch the sunrise. Because she's up at 4:30 in the morning.
I was going to say, that's at like 5 a.m.
That's who she is. This is what I'm talking about. About, like, she wakes up before her whole family, goes for an 11-mile run, takes the dog. Does she drink? Yeah. So, but she doesn't drink, like, during the week. She has kids and a
but
job
like
and
in
shit.
Vegas, she'll drink that night and then wake up at 5:30 to go for a hike. Ugh, God.
Maybe not 5:30. On vacation, she might sleep until like 7.
Oh my God.
I know.
Taking a risk.
I know. So I was like, I'm not going hiking. And Kelsey was like, no, we can go before sunrise. I'm like, you're out of your mind, dude. I was like, it only gets down to like 80 at night. Yeah. Like, I'm not. And then, I said, we're going back and forth. And I was like, finally, okay, I'm drawing a hard line right now. If it is more than 80 degrees, I'm not hiking. That's too hot. I said 81 degrees, I'm not going on a hike. 80 degrees, I'll go on a hike. And then our free spirit farmer friend, Caitlin, she chimes in and goes, hey guys, how about we don't argue about something that's 6 months away? She's that one who's like, hey, can we like not be, there's no reason for you guys to be fighting about this. But Kelsey and I would have gone back and forth about that all day.
Well, why couldn't you just be like, if you want to go hiking, go hiking?
Because she wants the whole group to be involved.
Well, why? I'm very much like, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Don't let me hold you back. Like, you want to go hiking? Absolutely, go. I'm not.
Yeah.
But I want you to have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, and that's usually how it'll play out.
And it's because I used to be like, okay, whatever you want to do, I'll do. Yeah. And I'll like force myself to have fun because I can have fun in a lot of situations. And now I've kind of reached the point where I'm like, well, I don't want anyone to have a bad time because of me. Right. But I don't want to do it. I'm going to make it a bad time if I go.
Right.
So you go. I'm going to stay back.
Right.
Kind of situation.
Yeah. But I think that's also just part of getting older too, where you're just like, man, I want to go lay by the pool. That's all I want to do. And she knows that about me, which is why she invited me to Miami. So she texted me and was like, she also knows I don't really have a job. I don't do anything all day. Yeah. So she's like, and I'm also down to kind of go anywhere, where it's like, she hit me up and was like, I text her and I was like, I am thinking about you or something like that. And she called me immediately and I was like, oh no, somebody's dead. And she was like, hey, do you want to go to Miami? I was like, when? She's like, 2 weeks. I was like, yeah, I do. Yeah. I would love to do that actually. Cause I was already looking at like cheap flights to Fort Lauderdale or like to stay in a La Quinta Inn and go spend a couple days on the beach. And so the timing was perfect. Her company is sending her down there. So she has to be down there for a week. And she's like, I have a free hotel room. Just come stay with me. Yeah. And I was like, oh, absolutely. So I'm leaving in 2 hours to go do that.
Yeah. But Miami's cool. That's your first time going to Miami, right?
Never been to Miami.
I was down there well, I was down there with my mom, but I went there to go record a podcast with another girl. Like, I think it was right before I moved to New York or right after. I don't remember. It was right after I moved to New York. And I was staying at a hotel, and there was a girl. She was there on a work trip. And we were just talking at the bar because you got like a free drink and meal ticket at this hotel.
Oh, that's cool.
So both of us were just taking advantage of that. And I was like, oh, what are you here for? And she was like, well, actually, she's like, I'm here for work. She's like, but a guy in my company that works for like another part of the company, she's like, he's meeting me down here. And she's like, we're going to like meet each other for the very first time.
Oh, it was like a rendezvous.
Yeah. So like they worked for like the same company and had been like flirting over like what is it, like Slack? Like they had been like flirting over Slack for like months.
Flirting over Slack messages is crazy,
which is so funny. But then she was like, well, you know, like she had like so much lore to her story. She's like, well, I just left my boyfriend. And I was like, oh, you had a boyfriend? She's like, yeah, we were dating for like 12 years, but he was actually addicted to cocaine.
Holy shit.
So she's like, I've had this like weird thing going on with my coworker for like 4 months. And finally I was just like, I had to leave my boyfriend because she's like, he stayed in the basement for like 4 days in a row just doing cocaine by himself. And she was like, oh, you have to get out of the house.
Yeah.
So this was like her first trip since kicking her cokehead boyfriend out of the house. Keep in mind, I knew this girl for 7 minutes before I found, bless you.
I hate it when you do that. You take it away every fucking time. And I try not to swear on here. It makes me so mad. You do it constantly. I just want to sneeze. I don't think there's a better feeling in the world than when you feel a sneeze coming on and it comes out. You've done that to me 15 times this week, where I am getting ready to sneeze and then you say bless you and it goes away.
I know, that's why I do it.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Isn't that crazy though? That if I say bless you, it makes your sneeze go away?
I hate it.
It's my favorite thing.
I really do. Like the feeling of a sneeze and then the release is such a good feeling. It really is. It can only be matched kind of by like when you really, really have to poop and then you get to poop and you're like, oh my God, I feel so much better.
Yeah. I was going to say orgasm, but yeah.
Or an orgasm. Whatever. Pooping, sneezing, orgasms, all same thing.
It's all the same thing. There's like a pressure to release.
I hate you so much. You've been doing it all week. And
I've done it like twice. This may have been the third time.
Dude, you've done it 27 times. Anyway, your cokehead girlfriend.
Yeah. So, yeah. I feel like sometimes when you're on vacation, I feel like we're learning that from watching White Lotus. You'll just like open up.
Such a good show.
Yeah. So good. So good. It like, and we're very behind on this. We just finished season 2.
Yeah. So we're like 1 episode into season 3.
Yeah. So we're very behind, and a lot of people had told me, "Oh, you'll really like this." And I remember watching the first episode
season
of the
was
first season.
Weird. I don't think it didn't know what it was yet.
You're like, what's happening? You're
I
trying
don't know
to like
what
figure
I'm
it out.
watching.
Yeah.
Is this comedy? Is this drama? Is this murder?
Horror.
Is this a thriller? Is this figure them out? It's very confusing.
Yeah, and that like I was telling somebody that I was like, I'm just very confused on what's going on, and they were like, "Oh, don't worry, all 3 seasons are like that."
Yeah.
You have no idea what's happening. That's what keeps you drawn in, where you're like,
well, it's just like,
is this a mystery?
Set in like extreme luxurious resorts. So it's all like rich white people and their crazy lives. And you're like, what you were getting at was that you open up to strangers on vacation. And I'm telling you, I think it's because you know I'm never going to see you again. So it's like, what does it matter if I tell this girl at the bar about my coke? She probably hasn't been able to tell anyone in her life that.
I was about to say,
but she's never going to see you again. You don't know any of her friends.
I guarantee, because she's not allowed to tell anyone at work that she's meeting up with her Slack message spring fling. And she's not probably able to tell her family about her cokehead boyfriend they've probably told her a million times, like, kick him out.
Yeah.
So for me, like, to just be sitting there at the bar and I was like, oh, yeah, like, I'm here. I'm doing, like, a podcast. She's like, oh, that's so cool. She's like, well, I'm here. And just unloaded all of that within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'm so into it. And then the bartender, he also comes over. And then at this point, we've created, like, this is a safe space kind of thing. Yeah. So then he's like, sorry, guys, I just have to go, like, take a call really quick. And then shows us his phone. It is paragraphs from somebody. So then I'm like, oh my God. I was like, I was like, okay, now tell us what's going on with you. And he's like, okay, well, me and my boyfriend were supposed to be going to Europe. Well, he's not my boyfriend. He's my ex-boyfriend. We broke up like 6 months ago and we were supposed to be going to Europe tomorrow. And now he's telling me that like he doesn't want me to go. And I'm like, how is this like, how are this many people having
everyone all day, every day? Everyone's doing something. Everyone's going through something. I love drama.
So do I.
I love it. I love it so much. And I think it comes from, and I try to explain this to Brian, my boyfriend had a very normal, small family upbringing. His parents fought, that kind of a thing, but nothing like crazy. Yeah. I don't even know if his dad ever hit him. And if he did, it was maybe like once. You know what I mean? And he apologized for it. Like that type of thing. But like coming from such a chaotic lifestyle, and I had 5 brothers and sisters, so there was always something. Our parents were always fighting. There was always drama in my life. So I don't know if it maybe is soothing to know that there's drama in other people's lives, or if I just expect where I'm like, oh, tell me, because there's got to be something going on with you right now.
Well, yeah, I feel like I don't know a person until I know what's going on in your what's bad going on in your life.
Yeah.
Like, oh, cool, like you work at blah, 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 and you have a girlfriend. I'm like, no, what's eating you inside?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
But that's the crazy thing about getting with Brian is that, like, he doesn't have those things.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
He's like, yeah, I kind of don't like my job. I wish I had a different job.
That's so, like the saying sorry thing. I remember the first time I went on vacation with Sammy, and her dad, like, messed some stuff up, and he ended up yelling at Sammy. And, so we like went to her room, and he comes in like 10 minutes later and he's like, Sammy, I'm so sorry. That was my fault, and I'm so sorry. And she's like, it's okay, Dad. Also, we're like 19 at this point, and I looked at her and I was like, your dad apologizes to you?
You can have that. I didn't even know that was an option.
And she was like, yeah, what? Like, yeah, if you do something wrong, you apologize. And I was like, truly did not know that was an option.
I had no clue parents could say that word.
I didn't even know you could say sorry to people.
Yeah.
Until that moment. She's like, I don't think you understand how powerful just saying sorry is.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but get it out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah, try doing that.
I'm pretty good at apologizing. It's what I'm trying to work on now is not doing the thing I need to apologize for. I'm a hothead. And I tend to spout off before I think things through. And then I have to say sorry. So recognizing the problem is like, hey, man, you're mad. Let's try not to act in our emotions. I think I've talked about this before. My therapist said, like, if emotions are a bell curve, we need to make our decisions on either end.
Yeah.
When you're cooled down or you're not so amped up. I don't think I've ever made a decision not at the very top of an emotion. That's where all of my decisions are made. And so, I have to get better about that because I've gotten good at apologizing over the years, especially being a blackout drunk too. Being an alcoholic where it's like, yeah, I have to be like, yeah, dude, I'm sorry. I pooped in your sink. I didn't mean it. I'm real sorry. Like, I wasn't there.
Or you're just like, just tell me what I did and I'll apologize for it. I don't know what it was.
There.
I have no idea what I need to apologize for, but you tell me, I will. I don't know. Like,
yeah. But, so earlier this week, a couple days ago, Sara and I were sitting on the couch, and we're having our monthly breakdown where one of us is having a mental moment. I had that this week,
We were watching White Lotus, and finally you just paused the TV, and you're like,
because you
look
kept
at me
talking, and you kept saying things, and like the first 2 comments I just kind of let go, and then like by the 3rd time you brought the same thing up again, I paused it because I like, she needs to talk about this. Like, you know what I mean? Because I was like,
I didn't even notice that I was doing that.
Oh, like, yeah, you did it like once, and then I like, oh, yeah, whatever. And then you did it again, and then I, like, didn't engage or, like, was like, oh, yeah, that's crazy, or I've noticed that too. And then by, like, the 3rd time that you brought up the same type of person, I was like, all right. And I paused it, and I looked at you, and I was like, let's unpack whatever's going on here.
So basically the idea was that, like, I have a very hard time not comparing myself to people.
Yes.
Overall, in life, when I see someone doing better than me, I compare myself. But here lately, I have been comparing myself to a very specific type of hot girl.
Yes.
On the internet.
Hot girls on the internet.
Hot girls on the internet.
But not even like you're thinking like a bikini influencer model.
No. Like
hot funny girls.
Hot funny girls, because that's like the category I think that I should be trying to be in. is
That's
just
the category you get lumped into.
Yes.
And I mean, I can say that is a fact. I think when people see you, they think, oh, that's a hot, funny internet girl.
Yeah.
Which isn't fair.
Yeah.
But I think you're hot.
Well, it was like the talking in my car videos that kind of blew up. And then, I'm going through like old videos and I'm like, well, did that only blow up because I have half of a shirt on, or did that blow up because they're listening to what I'm saying?
Right.
And so then when I see somebody else that kind of has that same vibe as me, then I'm and I'm like, oh, well, they're doing better than me. Like, I don't think that I'm like doing as well. And you were just like, stop comparing yourself, because you're an actual stand-up comedian. Like,
right.
You actually do this. You know how to write. You know what you're doing. And so we're having this like conversation, and I'm like, I forget what you said. You said something like, I don't think you said like you're not a hot girl on the internet.
I'll tell you exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Because I want to tell my half of the story too.
Yeah. Okay.
Only because I want you to know what it looked like from my side.
No, I'd love to hear.
We were talking about hot girl on the internet, blah, blah, blah. How a lot of them aren't very good at stand-up. That they maybe are getting views because, yes, what they're saying is funny. Maybe it's not for me. I'm not 22. I don't fully understand what this means while you're walking around on the street. I am not sure what you're saying. But 700,000 people liked it, so somebody knows what it is, you know? And what sparked it is that we were saying, like, okay, so then what is your target demographic? If your target demographic isn't hot little 22-year-olds like, oh, my God, everything you say, And I said my target demographic, I know for a fact that day drunk construction workers know exactly who I am. Like, or a recovering heroin addict is very likely to reach out to me and be like, hey, man, love your content. Like, I know deeply broken people who want to be seen is my demographic, and you have to accept that. Yes. And then you said something about like middle-aged men or like trashy. It was something about like a white trash man.
Anytime that I have been recognized, it's been the same type of man. Yeah, which is fine. You know what I mean? Like I recognize that obviously is what my humor is being pushed to, but I'm also like, huh. Okay. Like I have to sit back and realize that it's not going to be the 28 to 30-year-old like cute girls that are coming up to me after my set that are like, "Oh my God, I totally related to that part where you said you huffed gas." Like they're not going to. No. And I have to recognize
it's a man
that and
with
be okay.
no teeth who just found out what TikTok is. Yes. And he huffs gas every day.
He still huffs gas.
I can't believe there's a community of people here that also do what I do. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was saying to you. You stood up from the couch. I can see it in my brain. You stood up from the couch. I was laying there. And I said, well, man, maybe you need to accept the fact that that's not your demographic. I was like, you are obviously relating to people that you don't want to relate to, but you need to maybe accept the fact that hot girls aren't your demographic. And when I said hot girls aren't your demographic, you like stood up and you try to do this like spin, your little hot girl spin that you do when you're being like, I'm so funny and flirty.
That's how I flirt. I just do a spin like a dog.
She did a spin. And then
do the spin.
You hear a crack and you fell so hard. Like you did this spin.
It was one of those ones where it was like,
yeah. So like you smashed your toe and then I think your ankle twisted and then your leg slammed into the front of the couch. You had blueberries in your hand. I wish with everything in me that the blueberries would have been open. Because the way you kind of like, the way you went down, if those blueberries were open and then you threw them all over the house, it would have been the best day of my life. And I was just like, what the fuck just, and I'm dying. I'm laughing so hard. You're laughing. And I'm like,
when I saw the covers go over your head, because you were like trying to like, I think you were trying to make sure I was okay before like you lost your mind.
I was like, I looked at you and then you started laughing and I put the covers over my face because I know you get embarrassed easily. I didn't want to make you feel bad, but I was like, that's one of the funniest things I've ever seen you do.
No, I think falling is so funny, whether it's me or somebody else. It's like my favorite pastime is people falling.
I am on record as being like people falling down, specifically on ice, are it's my favorite thing in the planet. I could watch videos of people slipping on ice because there's no control. You can't catch yourself. I love it so much.
Yes.
It was beautiful. It was tragic.
Tripping. It's so funny. But yeah, I started laughing because I knew how funny it looked. Like, I was picturing how, like, because I was like, oh, wait, my toe hurts, my ankle hurts, and my, like, butt hurts. I was like, so I did a 3-part fall. It was a like a jigsaw puzzle style fall.
Yeah.
I was like, that's hilarious. And so then I'm just like, I'm laughing on the ground for like 10 minutes. Both of us are just laughing.
Yeah.
And then I think I got up, I did some stuff, and then we were talking, and I was like, I think I'm hurt.
You're like, dude, my foot really hurts. You're like, it's like throbbing. Like, I don't know what to do. Da, da, da. And then you got packing tape or the clear gift wrap tape. Scotch tape. That's the word I'm looking for. You got Scotch tape, and you're like, I'm going to tape my toes together. And I was like, dude, this is going to hurt. What are you doing? And so I was like, let's just ice it. Let's relax.
Because I had broken my toe before.
Yeah.
And, well, I was also like, I was competitive gymnast, and they were pretty harsh, like the gym that I went to, and I broke my toe on another girl's cast. My pinky toe got stuck in her arm cast.
Right here.
Like, yeah, and then my pinky toe. And they just taped it up, and they're like, okay, get home safe.
Yeah.
So, like, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, you break your pinky toe, you just have to, like, tape it up and go about your day. So that's what I did. I was like, let me just get some tape and tape this up.
And then you also wouldn't ice it. You'd ice it for 2 minutes. You're like, it's too cold.
Well, it was hurting.
It's so cold.
The ice hurt. You know, I think it was like the ace bandage was a little too tight.
Yeah. So I bandaged you up. Put your leg up. Relax. Chill out. Let's watch the rest of the show. And then here's my concern. Because I know who you are. You're going to fuck your toe up worse. I already know it. She went to the doctor yesterday. And they were like, yeah, your toe's broken.
I want you to know that if it wasn't for you, I would have not gone to the doctor.
I know you wouldn't have. You went to the doctor.
You're a very doctor person. And I'm like...
Because they exist for a reason.
I'm very much like, unless... And this is just like the way that I was raised. Unless you are on your deathbed, which both of my parents right now were damn near like...
Yeah.
So sick before they were like... Fine, I'll go to the doctor. And then my dad had to have quadruple bypass. I'm like, you know, if you just went to the doctor
6 months ago.
Yeah. Which, okay, now I'm being, you know, now I'm eating my own words in this whole you don't have to go to the doctor thing.
Yeah,
but,
you're a hypocrite.
Yes.
Well, my point is doctors exist for a reason. We don't have a good healthcare system, but they're there. So you go, you say, hey, let's take care of this now because I have to do this to Brian all the time. Brian's had health insurance his entire life. And I think he goes to the doctor once every 5 years. I'm like, dude. Go figure out what your blood pressure is.
Yeah.
You need to know what you're 40. You need to know what your cholesterol is. And I made you go to the doctor. They gave you a boot, which is hilarious because when I twisted my ankle and wore a boot in October, it was like, you're not hurt. Don't wear a boot. Put your cane down. This is so embarrassing.
Well,
you're being dramatic.
It was a lot. A boot and a cane.
That's what they gave me.
Also, I'm not going to wear that boot.
I know you're not going to wear that boot, which is bringing me to my whole point of what you're going to do. She went to the doctor yesterday. They said, stay off your foot. She has this thing next week. And they were like, don't go to that thing next week. And what did you do yesterday? Wait, no. What did you do yesterday? Did you stay off your foot?
Almost.
No. Did you stay off your foot? Yes or no?
I took 1,200 steps.
You walked to the grocery store. Went grocery shopping.
No, I needed mushrooms and peppers. I got 2 things and got
sauce.
And sauce.
And gummy worms and suckers. Okay, you didn't go in and
I
get one little thing. Walks the half a block, a full block at this point to the grocery store. On a broken fucking foot, and then you come back, no boot, you're not icing, you're not doing anything, and I'm like, dude, I can guarantee you what you're gonna do is you're gonna think in 2 days, you're like, I can totally go back to the gym, and you're gonna walk the mile to the train, and you're gonna push yourself too hard, you're gonna fracture your foot, and you're gonna be in a fucking cast for the entire summer. Do you know how disgusting a cast is gonna be in New York City? Because you refuse to sit down for 2 days.
No, I'm gonna,
You already said you wanted to go to the gym tomorrow.
I said that I could probably swim. If I got an Uber to the pool, to the gym pool, I could probably swim with a broken toe. It's good for you, actually.
Okay, sure. No, it isn't.
Well,
a broken bone?
I'm not sure if it's bad for you.
Moving a broken bone?
In water?
It's still moving.
Basically
it's
just like it's basically like putting it in the air.
No, it isn't, Sarah. You're not supposed to use broken bones. That's the whole point, is you don't put pressure on them. You don't put weight on them. You don't use them so that they can heal.
Yeah.
And you're not going to do that. And I can guarantee, okay, what happens when you go to the pool and the pool deck is wet and you slip and fall and you break your ankle?
I'm not going to go to the pool. I thought that maybe I could, but I did think about it after you said that, and I'm not going to go. But I thought I probably could do something light in there. I could probably do some light Pilates. I'm not going to work out today.
You can't do Pilates on a
bored.
broken toe.
I'm bored.
Write a joke. Make a video. There's 150,000 things you could do in this house.
Yeah, but like I have to be active for my brain to start working.
Okay, find a different way to be active.
That's why I was like, maybe I can swim.
You're going to end up fucking up your foot. I'm saying it right now. May 3rd. This podcast will come out next Wednesday. You are going to push it too hard.
No.
You're going to break your foot.
No.
Fully break it and be in a cast. That's my prediction.
I think possibly that could have been an option, but because I do have an event next week that's very important, I think I'll be off I do have the fitting on Monday, so I'm going to rest until Monday.
You have to rest at least until Monday. Did you email them?
No. I'm too scared. I don't want to mess things up.
She has a broken foot. It's for a fashion brand. The fashion brand we talked about last week.
Yeah.
She nailed it, guys. She got the
I got
the thing. We talked about it.
I think I can probably say it now. It's Miu Miu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's up to you. I didn't know what that was, by the way. She said that, and I was like, is that a big deal? I've never heard of that a day in my life.
Which probably people that listen to this podcast also are like, what?
It's a branch of Prada.
It's owned by Prada.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a fitting for a fucking branch of Prada. And I was like, dude, they're going to bring you high heels. You need to email them and say, hey, is it at all possible to get flats or loafers or something, just so you know I have a broken toe? But you're worried that they're not going to give you the spot if you tell them you have a broken toe.
Exactly.
So what's going to happen when they show up?
Exactly.
What happens when you show up on Monday? They have 3 different pairs of high heels, and in person, now you have to tell them, I can't wear this.
I'm not going to tell them.
You're going to break your fucking foot and end up in a cast.
No.
Yes,
no,
you are.
No.
Because if they're in front of you and they say, put those heels on. And
I'm going to put them on, and it's not like I'm going to have to walk around in them for a fitting.
Yes, you are.
I'm going to put all my weight on my left foot. I'm going to put that heel on. And
so you're going to hobble like this in front of the Prada people?
Well,
is this how you want me to walk?
By Monday, who knows?
Sarah, 2 days, 48 hours from now, you think your toe's not going to be broken anymore?
I think I could probably put on a heel and
I can't fucking stand you, dude.
You wait. You're gonna eat those words.
I'm not gonna eat those words. When I come back, I get back from Miami on Tuesday, and when you're in a full fucking cast because you're an idiot, I'm signing it, and I'm signing it. I told you so.
You're signing it. You're a fucking idiot.
Yes.
No.
I know I'm yelling at you right now because you make me mad. You make me so mad that I'm like, this is a 100% avoidable problem. And you're gonna fuck it up. You're gonna hurt yourself.
No, because for me, it's like I would rather get this gig and power through it. I'm like, you say you want to be an Olympic athlete.
I didn't say I want to. I said I could.
You could, but could you power through a broken toe?
I would say.
Because Olympic athletes do.
I would say, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to heal. And then I'm going to go back to running.
That's not how Olympic athletes act.
You don't
Olympic
know that.
athletes. Yeah, who is the gymnast? She got the best score on a vault with a broken ankle.
Okay,
who
good
was
for
that?
her.
I don't remember.
She's also not 35.
In the early 2000s.
I'm 35 is what I'm saying. You're 31. Hard truth coming at you, brother. Your shit's not going to heal the same way it did 10 years ago or when you were in gymnastics 15 years ago.
You thought you could be an Olympic athlete.
Don't turn this around on me. This has nothing to do with me.
I don't know if you have it in you to be an Olympic athlete.
What I know for a fact is that this whole conversation has absolutely nothing to do with me. And you're putting it on me because you know that I'm right. That's what's happening is you're turning it around on me because you know you're going to put that high heel on, you're going to hurt yourself, and you're going to regret it.
I'm telling you it's because I have grit.
It's not nothing to do with grit.
I have grit. I have power. I have dedication.
Let's play this scenario out. You put on the high heels on Monday. You hurt your foot so bad that by the time you have to film on Thursday, your foot is so swollen it doesn't fit in the heel anymore. Now what?
I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay.
I'm going to take them together. They're going to be fine.
I hope it doesn't. What happens when
football players play with like broken toes all the time?
You're not a fucking football player.
You're
about to film a commercial for a high-end fashion brand. What happens when you fuck your foot up on Monday and then the bruising goes all the way up your foot? And then the high heel shows a big-ass purple swollen foot. You think they want that in their brand?
Well, they'll put makeup on it.
What if they didn't bring makeup?
I'm getting that's the whole thing.
For your legs?
I mean, like face makeup, leg makeup, it's all the same thing. I don't think there's specific leg makeup.
You're insufferable. Sarah, you're... Okay.
I think that I'm going to be fine.
But my whole point is, what happens if you're not? You're not preparing at all for the fact that you might not be fine.
Well, then I guess I won't do it. But I'm going to try. I'm not just going to be like, oh, well, sorry, I broke my toe. I'm not going to do that.
I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm saying send an email like, hey, is it possible? I think I can wear heels. I don't want to be a pain in the ass, but is it possible to get a flats option?
Maybe they'll just have them there. I don't want to mess things up before they've even happened. Now, if I get there and I can't put it on, then I'll just be like, hey, guys, like, I broke my toe. I broke it a few days ago. I thought that I would be okay and I'd be able to put these on by now, but I can't.
And what they're going to say to you is, okay, then these are the only options we have because this is all we brought.
And then at that point, I'll be like, okay.
So why wouldn't you avoid that altogether? If you're fine losing the gig, because essentially what you just said is if I show up Monday and they tell me I have to wear the heels and I'll lose the gig, you're fine losing it on Monday, but you're not fine sending the email 24 hours in advance and maybe keeping the gig and wearing flats.
I don't think that's how it would happen.
You think if you said, hey guys, I kind of right now require flats, they would say, fuck you, no flats.
Maybe, yeah.
And you think that's more likely than you getting there and not being able to
I would rather
put the heel
I'd rather
on.
Try to put the heel on, yes.
You would rather hurt yourself, potentially hurt yourself, than send an email saying, is there any way you guys could make this accommodation?
Yes.
That's crazy. That's crazy because what you're essentially saying is I'm fine losing the gig.
No, I just don't want to I don't want to lose it before I even get it.
Do you understand?
Fine,
okay, think of
like
put yourself
getting there
in their
and then
position.
being like, I don't think that's gonna happen. First off, I think I'm gonna get there and and if I can't wear the heels, they're gonna be like, okay, well we'll get you some flats then. This isn't like a fitting where they only bring 3 things. This is a fitting where they have, it's for every person that is in this thing, which is hundreds of us. So It's like they're going to have multiple options of everything. I've sent them my size, my shoe size, everything. So they're aware of kind of what I'm going to be doing. I think that it's going to be fine. I think I'm going to get there. I think there's going to be plenty of options. Mm-hmm. And I think that
I hope there are.
I think I might even be able to put my little fat foot into a heel. Or maybe a kitten heel.
I don't even know what to say to you. It's fine. I hope it all works out. I truly am very happy for you for getting this. I am. And I hope that they do have those options. But it's crazy to me that your mind works that way. That you're like, instead of sending an email saying, hey, could we possibly bring some flats? You'd rather show up and potentially hurt yourself worse.
Because my whole life, everything is always just kind of worked out. Like, I'm just like, oh, no, I'll just figure it out when I get there. And then I do. And I know that's annoying to people that are like super type A and they're like, we have to plan this out. But for real, it's never like I've gotten somewhere and I didn't plan it enough or I didn't email them enough information and then I get there and it all falls apart. It's just like, oh, like even when I used to like be the creative producer at like the agency, my job was to make sure everything was there when we got there. And sometimes it's like, yeah, I just forgot the ice. Okay, I'll go buy ice really quick. You know what I mean? Like,
I get it.
Like, it's nothing is that deep to me where I'm like, whatever. If I get there and they don't have heels, then I'll try and put my foot into a heel. And if they're like, sorry, like, this is the only option, then whatever.
What you're saying right there, that exact sentence is, I'm fine losing this gig.
If I tried. Yeah. I don't want to take the risk of losing it before I even get there.
I can't imagine if they are a fashion brand that's bringing stuff for hundreds of people and you specifically say, hey, can you please bring a flat in my size? That they would be like, what a piece of shit drama queen. We're not dealing with this.
They might.
What a diva.
They really might, honestly.
I'm
telling you, in like fashion and acting world, I think that they're more like, it's always like, don't give them a reason to not want to work with you.
And by simply requesting a different shoe style. This is what I can't wrap my mind around.
I think of it as like, there's probably 100 other people that also wanted this. So if I'm being difficult, then they've got 99 other people that they can reach out to. You know what I mean?
I guess I'm looking at it from a producer standpoint, where if I got all your sizes, I see your headshots, I see your pictures, and I'm like, okay, this is the outfit I want to put this girl in. And then you show up unable to wear that outfit, that's going to piss me off way more than if you would have told me in advance. Because if you tell me in advance, I can change the outfit and bring what I want you to wear. But if you show up and now in person when I don't have all of my options, now I'm mad. Now I'm like, well, fuck you. I'm going to go get that girl with the exact same measurements because you didn't tell me you needed something specific. But I also don't work in fashion.
I don't know. I think I'm going to be able to put the heels on even if they're heels. Look.
Don't.
Look at this. Watch.
What are you even doing?
I'm moving my toes. See that?
Okay, but that's not being in a high heel with all of your weight on your crunched.
This is on day 2, okay? So I'm thinking...
Okay, can I do something real quick?
No.
Just put it back up there, real quick.
Don't
put it back
touch
up
it.
there. 2 seconds.
Don't
put it
touch
back up
it.
there.
No.
Real quick.
I don't want you to touch it.
I'm not going to hurt you. Put it back up there. Put it back up
I'm
there.
scared you're going to hurt me.
I'm not going to hurt you. I would never hurt you. Okay, hold on. Ready?
No, I'm too scared. I'm too scared.
Put it right here.
I'm too scared. I'm scared.
Ready?
I'm scared. No.
Just chill.
No.
Put your foot up. I'm not going to hurt you. Put your foot where I'm not going to hurt you.
Don't pretend to put a shoe on.
I'm not.
Don't touch my pinky.
Just put your foot up. Okay? Real quick. A high heel, right? Don't touch me.
No.
Don't
You're gonna hurt me. You're gonna hurt me. Okay.
If you're that scared of me touching your toe, what do you think a fucking Prada high heel is gonna feel like?
We'll figure it out.
You're so frustrating. You're so frustrating. Did you see how you just acted? You can't act like that.
Okay,
in front of the people.
It hurts.
I know you're lying. That's why I'm so mad at you. Because you refuse to accept that, yeah, this hurts and I have to chill. God, you make me so mad. Do you see that? Point fucking proven. And you know what? Great stopping point. When we come back next week, we'll see how it all went. She's going to be in a full fucking cast. Probably by the time I get back from Miami, to be honest with you. I care about you, and I want you to have a foot.
My foot's not going to fall off.
That's the title of this episode.
I want you to have a foot.
I care about you, and I want you to have a foot. We think, okay, let's think long term.
Right.
If I don't fuck this up now, I won't be in a cast.
Okay, I'll do this. I won't mention the broken toe. I'll just say, hi.
Great start.
Hey, will there be multiple shoe options? I have something going on with my foot right now and might need flats, but could wear heels if you need me to. No worries. Still want the gig. Don't be mad at me. Have a wonderful day. You're all really cool and fun. Sarah.
You're definitely losing the gig. With that email? They're like, we don't need this weird girl around us. Why the fuck did you pick someone from Indiana? Are you mad at me for yelling at you? Do you feel uncomfortable?
No, now I'm worried. I'm going to say something, but not the way that you said it. Not like, hey, I'm an idiot and broke my toe.
I didn't ever say to say that.
You emailed them right now and say, hey, I'm a stupid idiot. And I broke my toe trying to do a hot girl dance.
I did a hot girl spin.
Technically, I'm not even a hot girl on the internet. I'm a stand-up comedian.
Who huffs gas.
And yeah,
if you're gonna send the email, send it correct.
And like, you probably shouldn't even have me at this fashion event, because you know who my demographic is? Crusty white men that work on carburetors. So I don't even know why you have me here. But also, do you have a pair of flats? Because I can't fit my stupid dumb foot into a heel right now because I broke my pinky trying to do a hot girl dance. But turns out I don't even know how to do a hot girl dance because I'm really not even a hot girl on the internet. I'm just some fucking hillbilly from Indiana. So anyway, if you guys just don't even want to give me this job, that's a problem. Okay, well, I'm Sara Pop-Tarts on Instagram. If you want to follow me, I do like hot girl talks in my car.
Oh my god. This is a cliffhanger. This is a cliffhanger episode. This is the maddest I think I've ever gotten at you in person. Except when your cat attacked me and you didn't do anything. I was really fucking mad.
I brought you medicine.
You got me medicine after I yelled at you. After I said, I tried so hard not to scream at you that day because we were brand new roommates. We'd known each other like 4 weeks. And I said, you're like, oh, I thought you were saying what is happening. But I was saying Chloe's attacking me. And she thought I was saying what is happening. I said, I don't know if you remember this. It's burned into my memory that I was like, hey, man, new rule. If one of the roommates is screaming, the other one comes. I was so mad.
I will say I came much quicker than you thought.
It was happening fast.
It was like maybe 15 seconds.
It was 2.5 minutes.
No, it wasn't.
Your cat mauled my face off.
It was like 15 seconds. I remember being in my room because I was on my phone and I heard, what is happening? What is happening? On the third one, I heard, what is happening? I threw my phone down and I was like, what's going on? And you're like, Chloe's attacking me.
Yeah. You mad? You mad that I yelled at you for 45 minutes?
I love this podcast. I'm so happy that we do it.
I don't want to hurt your little feelings because I know. Come here, let me kiss you.
There's nothing that I hate more than being yelled at than being touched.
Come here.
These are my two least favorite things that have happened to me today.
Let me kiss you on the cheek. That better? All right, I gotta go. My flight's in like 40 minutes. All right. That's your pose for the fashion brand right there. On your one little leg, like, what's that? Quasimodo.
Okay, I'm done.
I'm done too. Follow us on social media at Special Friends Pod. I'm at Mary Santora Comedy.
I'm at Sara Pop-Tarts.
Dude, you got to tune in next week so we can figure out what happened. Love you. Bye.
Bye.